The thing that used to frustrate me the most about panic attacks and anxiety was, what if my friends and family start to find out that I am afflicted with panic attacks? I was training to become a doctor in Nepal 4 years ago when I had my first panic attack. And the first thought was, I cannot let my friends know that I am afflicted with panic attacks. Because what if they think that I am a weak person? I am not going to have a good position in the social hierarchy after they know that I am afflicted with panic attacks, because they will think that I am a weak person. That was my primary concern. What if my family members start to find out that I am afflicted with anxiety and panic attacks? Are they going to think that, wow, we have invested so much of money into our son and our son is going through this unnecessary nonsense? Are they going to think that I am not a son that they should be proud about, that should be proud of? I worried if my status in my society, if my status in my family would degrade after anybody knew that I was afflicted with panic attacks. This was the most frustrating thing about panic attack and anxiety. This is the reason why I had to turn inwards. This is the reason why I declined to join therapy sessions and take anxiety pills, because I could not afford to let anyone know, because I had a wonderful career ahead of me. I had money ahead of me. I had social status. I could not afford to ruin it. So I naturally had to study why emotions happen in our body and brain. I naturally had to study about human consciousness, about true essence of religion, about spirituality, about psychology. I studied a lot of Eastern spiritual mystics. I studied Western spiritual leaders who specifically focus on manifestation aspect of spirituality. Up until that moment, if somebody talked about manifestation, I thought this was woo-woo, that this person doesn't know what they're talking about. This person is probably stupid. But when I truly started to study about all of these things in great detail, I understood that this external personal reality that each and every one of us has is a manifestation of our own mind, is a projection, is an extension of our own mind. This is the reason why yogis have been calling our personal reality as Maya. Maya means illusion. Your personal reality is just an illusion. It's not real because it is just projected from your own subconscious mind. If you have written bad programs in your subconscious mind, consciously or unconsciously, most of the times it's unconscious, then your external circumstances will be tragic. Your mental health will go down, your physical health will go down. You will be surrounded with a lot of negative circumstance, situations, events that will create more bad feelings in your mind. This is a vicious cycle. You write bad programs in your subconscious mind, you face bad consequences in your external reality, you impress more negative feelings in your subconscious mind, and you become a magnet for more crappy situations in your life. This is a vicious cycle. This is what Maya means. And to break out of this vicious cycle is what spiritual awakening means. To know that this personal reality is just an extension of your mind, and we can upgrade our state of mind in order to upgrade our external circumstance, is what breaking out of the matrix means. This is what I figured out after I studied so much of spirituality, so much of meditation, and so much of mystics teachings. So right now you are struggling, I know. As soon as you wake up in the morning, you're hearing racing thoughts in your head. Your heart is palpitating. Your face is sweating. You always have a dry sensation in your mouth. You're just anticipating when your next panic attack is going to happen. But even more so, you're worried if Your friends and family will start to figure out what you're going through, and if they're going to think that you're a weak guy. I know you have accumulated some sort of social status, and you have a sense of career. You are probably walking in a path of good career, and panic attacks and anxiety jeopardizes all of these things. I know it's a problem, and I have a solution for that. And the solution lies in the spiritual principles, which have been verified by the modern physics as well. It's not a spiritual principle anymore. This has been truly testified by the modern quantum physics as well. The first principle is the universe is spiritual and mental. We have been socially conditioned to view this universe of ours as a completely physical universe. When you view this universe as a completely physical universe, there's a separation between you and a particular object, this and this, because physical objects always have a sense of separation, always have a sense of distance. Not only that, in a completely physical universe, there's a separation, there's a distance between you and what you desire. There's a distance, there's a separation between you and the money that you desire, between the girl that you desire, between the career that you desire, between the success that you desire. When there's a separation between you and what you want, there's a lack, and you operate from lack. You try to hustle your way to success. You try to calculate your next move. You try to compete with other people who are competing, who are also trying to get the same sort of resources. And in doing so, you're always operating your life from the state of flight or fright, and you are not going to even realize it until it's too late. You're going to accumulate a lot of stress. You're going to accumulate a lot of anger. You're going to accumulate a lot of competition and frustration and jealousy. You're going to accumulate a lot of hurt when you view this world as a completely physical universe. Maybe people have hurt you in the past and you have been denied of what you want. Maybe love, maybe money, maybe health, maybe wealth. And you bear resentment towards that person because you see this universe as a physical universe. You see that that person is stopping you from getting what you want. But it's not true. This universe is spiritual. There is only one thing in this entire existence, and that is spirit, or cosmic consciousness, or source energy. And that spirit, that cosmic consciousness, that source energy manifests itself into everything that you can perceive in this universe. Behind everything that you can perceive in this universe, behind every concept, behind every material object, there's a background of that cosmic consciousness. There is no separation between you and what you desire, because spirit, because cosmic consciousness is everywhere, all at the same time. If you truly understand this, if you operate your life by knowing this principle, then you do not have to hustle. You do not have to sweat. You do not have to be frustrated. You do not have to be angry. You do not have to have a sense of hurt. You do not have to be jealous to get what you want. The freedom from panic attacks that you want, the health that you want, the wealth that you want, the girl that you want will start to naturally come towards you if you operate your life from knowing that this universe is completely spiritual and mental. The reason why this universe is mental is because if you write new programs in your subconscious mind, the program that indicates that you are now free from panic attacks, you are now living a wonderful life, then that message is relayed to the cosmic consciousness by your subconscious mind. And the cosmic consciousness is so intelligent, is so loving that it gives you everything that you have conveyed towards it. It is the eternal source of love. If you convey a message of you becoming free from panic attacks, of you becoming admired by your friends and family instead of you becoming a source of worry and concern for them, if you convey a message of you having the object that you desire to the cosmic consciousness, you become a magnet for whatever you have conveyed to the source energy. You convey the message of freedom, you become a magnet for the freedom from panic attacks. Now you just chill. You do not have to go to therapy sessions, you do not have to buy anxiety pills, you just chill because you have already conveyed the message of freedom to cosmic consciousness by writing new programs in your subconscious mind. Now, the second principle that you need to understand is feeling is the secret of attracting the life that you want. We have been socially conditioned to view emotions are as inferior to logic. In a lot of people's mouth, especially in alpha male industry and manosphere industry, I see people say things like emotion is only for females. Do not be emotional. Live your life in a completely logical manner. But they do not realize that emotion is always what leads us to live. We first make decision based on our emotion, and then we intellectualize, we rationalize why we took a certain decision. One of the most emotionally volatile person in the red pill industry says things like emotion is only for females. That thing puzzles me. A very prominent Western spiritual leader in 20th century named Neville Goddard has written a whole book about this. Feeling is the secret. If you learn to cultivate positive, elevated emotions of joy, gratitude, empowerment, before wonderful things actually happen to you, then you become a magnet for wonderful things. We have been socially conditioned to feel joy, to feel thankfulness only when good things happen in our personal reality. But if you learn how to use your mind properly, if you learn how to imagine properly, you can feel all of these elevated emotions before those wonderful things actually happen to you. And the best part is when you feel all of these wonderful feelings ahead of the actual experience, then that actual experience must happen to you. Because I've already told you that this personal reality of ours is a Maya, is an extension of our mind. And what is mind? A culmination of mental imagery, feelings, and thoughts. If you properly develop a lot of positive emotions in your mind, in your subconscious mind, in your body, because your body is a part of your subconscious mind. If you learn how to cultivate positive emotions in this body, if you can just close your eyes and feel amazing elevated emotions, sooner or later, all of the wonderful things that you desire will start to come to you. Right now, if you just close your eyes and sit down still for 10 minutes, you're going to see that your mind is going to come up with so many negative mental imagery and so many negative feelings. Because you have been suppressing all of this negative mental imagery and feelings for a very long period of time. And only when you sit still and close your eyes and make your inner experience real, all of those mental imagery and feelings are going to come into the light of consciousness, because they are all just subconscious programs. But through a 3 simple step meditation process, you can write new programs in your subconscious mind, new positive mental imagery of freedom from panic attacks, of you living a wonderful life, and cultivate new amazing elevated emotions of joy, gratitude, and empowerment. And when you do that, you become a magnet for freedom from panic attacks, for admiration from your friends and family, for health, for wealth, for girls, everything that you desire in your life. Now, the first step of this 3 simple step meditation process is Yoga Nidra. People like Andrew Huberman, Dr. Andrew Huberman, who is a neuroscientist, have been calling this Yoga Nidra as non-sleep deep rest protocol, but it is just yogic sleep. What happens is when you do Yoga Nidra, you're rotating your awareness through your body, throughout your body, and then you achieve a state of relaxation. You achieve a state of sleepiness, but your mind is still kind of alert. That is the moment where your subconscious mind is really receptive to all the mental imagery and feelings that you can impress upon it. Right now, you're watching me on a phone or a tablet or a computer, and your brain is producing beta waves. This is not a good time to program your subconscious mind with new kind of mental imagery and feelings. When your brain is producing high beta waves under anxiety and panic attacks and worries and concern, that is not the time to write programs in your subconscious mind and create wonderful things in your life. That is the time to survive. That is the time to just protect your energy in order to ensure your survival. But through Yoga Nidra, your brain will be able to create slow, coherent alpha waves and theta waves. When your brain is producing alpha waves, your brain will start to become really good at creative visualization. And when your brain is producing theta waves, the door between the conscious mind and subconscious mind is wide open. The analytical mind is now gone. Now, all the mental imagery, all the visualization that you will perform through your conscious mind will be accepted, believed, and surrendered by the subconscious mind as if it is the truth. So if in this state you can imagine that you are actually free from panic attacks and you can do certain things, which I'm going to tell you later on, your subconscious mind will accept all of those mental imagery and believe that all of those things are actually true. And when the subconscious mind truly receives this message, it is going to communicate to that cosmic consciousness, and whatever you have impressed upon the subconscious mind will actually materialize into existence, because cosmic consciousness is the source energy. It is the spirit that is in existence. It is the only thing in existence. Out of that cosmic consciousness, out of that source energy, out of that spirit, everything in this universe has come out of. So write new programs in your subconscious mind, communicate with that spirit, and become a magnet for wonderful situations in your life, including freedom from panic attacks and anxiety. Now, what you have to do after you do Yoga Nidra, by the way, there's a link in the description box down below on how to do Yoga Nidra. It's a 13-minute video. Do that. And what you're going to do next after you do Yoga Nidra is, now you start to imagine, start to visualize an imaginal act where you are free from panic attacks and you're living your life after you have become free from panic attacks. Now provide all the sensory vividness, the sensation of seeing, hearing, tasting, feeling, smelling, after you have become this upgraded version of yourself who is free from panic attacks. Maybe you can see that you are going to the situations, you are going to the places that previously used to trigger your panic attacks and anxiety, but now you're just with your chest out. You can visualize that your breathing rate is really relaxed. You can visualize that you're taking your pulse rate and it is just 60 or 70 beats per minute. You can visualize that your friends and family members are just looking at you and they are just so happy that you have healed. They no longer have a worried face when they are looking at you. And here your people, here your well-wishers, your friends and your family members say to you, wow, you have become the rock of our family. Wow, you're so peaceful and relaxed these days. What's your secret? If you're avoiding coffee right now, if you're avoiding certain sensation of smell right now because you think it triggers your anxiety and panic attacks, start to indulge in those things in your imaginal act. Start to smell the aroma of coffee. Start to drink coffee in your imaginal act and say to yourself, finally, I can drink coffee again because I am free from panic attacks and anxiety. If you're right now currently avoiding dating, start to date people in your imaginal act. Start to touch their hair. Start to kiss them. Start to smell their perfume. Start to hear them say to you, wow, you're so peaceful and so powerful as a human being. How did you become so peaceful and relaxed? And you can even share this secret of communicating wonderful things to cosmic consciousness, and everything that you communicate with the cosmic consciousness will be given to you. You can share your secret of changing your life, to your friends, to your family, to your girlfriend in your imaginal act. All of these things will signify to your subconscious mind that you are actually living your life with no longer anxiety, with no more panic attacks. So, start to see wonderful things happening to you. Start to hear wonderful things happening to you. Maybe when you wake up in the morning, imagine that you have a big smile on your face. Because right now, you're probably hearing a lot of racing thoughts in your head as soon as you wake up in the morning, and you are frustrated just as soon as you wake up in the morning. So imagine just the opposite of that. Imagine that you're waking up in the morning, you're looking at your watch, it's 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., and you just have a big smile on your face, and you're saying to yourself, wow, I finally healed. I no longer have anxiety and panic attacks. I have successfully written new programs in my subconscious mind, and I have attracted a wonderful life free from panic attacks and anxiety. Say all of this thing to yourself in your imaginal act. Hear people compliment you on how peaceful, on how relaxed you have become lately. And all of these things will signify to your brain that it is all happening to you in real time. Because when you provide all this sensory vividness to your imaginal act, your brain will start to lose its distinguishing ability between what the imagined act is and what an experience that you have in this three-dimensional world is. This is what claiming that you are free from panic attacks actually mean. Providing all the sensory vividness to your imaginal act and imagining that you're actually free from panic attacks means you're claiming that you're free from panic attack. Now, the third step is simple. Just mentally rehearse all of this imaginal act over and over again. With enough mental rehearsal, the neural network that is associated with all of these wonderful things happening to you start to become hard, set, and permanent. And it is going to send a rush of chemicals down your body. These chemicals are going to create feelings in your body. And these feelings are going to be equivalent to whatever you have imagined. You have imagined that wonderful things are happening to you. You're free from panic attacks. You no longer have anxiety and panic attacks. You no longer have dry sensation in your mouth all the time. You no longer have your friends and family worrying about you. Instead, all the amazing things are happening to you. So you're going to feel the equivalent emotions of joy, gratitude, empowerment, and confidence. And these feelings are actually breathing life into your imaginal act. All the imaginal act is like a electrical signal that you send to the spirit, that you send to the cosmic consciousness. Now the cosmic consciousness knows what you actually desire. But the feeling, the elevated emotions that you embrace through mental rehearsal of this imaginal act sends a magnetic charge to the cosmic consciousness. Now the cosmic consciousness knows what you really want, and it starts to give to you what you desire. Now you become a magnet for whatever you have imagined. All the imaginal act will start to materialize into existence in a very unexpected manner. You will start to move across a sequence of events, and all the wonderful things that you have imagined will actually happen in your three-dimensional world of experience. But it's not even about breathing life into your imaginal act. It's about creating all of these elevated emotions of joy, gratitude, and empowerment before amazing things actually happen to you. Because when you feel grateful, when you feel joyful, when you feel empowered, anxiety and panic attacks cannot coexist in your body. And now you have the tool to just close your eyes, make your imaginal act very real, and feel all of these feelings. And you do not have to even depend upon external circumstances in order to feel amazing feelings. Now the external circumstances, even if they are bad, they will not affect you, because you now have the tool to just close your eyes and make your imaginal scenarios so real that you will start to create feelings out of them. Now you become the master of your destiny. Yogis have always been calling that your external personal reality is Maya, is an illusion. Why? Because they know very well that your external circumstance is just an extension of your subconscious mind. When your subconscious mind has bad programs, bad messages written upon them, your external circumstance will reflect all of those bad programs. You will be surrounded by bad circumstances, bad events, bad situations. Your health will go into a deterioration. Your mental health will start to deteriorate. All of these things are actually happening to you because you have unconsciously written bad programs in your subconscious mind. Now, through this meditation exercise, write new programs in your subconscious mind, and your external circumstance will start to change naturally because it is just a projection from your own subconscious mind. Write new programs, wonderful programs in your subconscious mind, and everything in your life will start to change. It's such a wonderful thing to discover and experience. So, the only thing that you must get really good at is becoming able to sustain these elevated emotions of joy, gratitude, empowerment for a very long period of time. Because right now, you can sustain the emotion of anxiety, panic attack, worry, concern for no reason, because what you have done for a very long period of time is you have visualized the worst case scenarios of your life, or you have remembered, you have memorized the past traumatic events of your life. Either way, those are imaginal act, those are mental imagery in your mind playing, and you have always been deriving feelings from it by mentally rehearsing it over and over again. So just do the opposite. And sooner or later, your second nature will be of joy, will be of empowerment, will be of gratitude. And that is the moment change has happened. That is the moment you're no longer afflicted with anxiety and panic attacks. So, I'm going to give you a wonderful tip. And that is, as soon as you wake up in the morning and as you go to bed at night, these two times are the windows where your brain is naturally producing or trying to produce alpha waves and theta waves. So do not miss these two windows to write new programs in your subconscious mind. Do the meditation at least these two times of the day, and you're going to see a significant improvement in your mental health in a very short amount of time. And do this meditation process whenever free time you get during the day, because you need to have a developed attention. Your attention needs to be focused on the mental imagery that signifies that you're free. Because right now, your attention will either go to the past traumatic event, past things, past events where people have hurt you, where situations were unfavorable to you, or your attention will start to go to the future, worst case scenarios, future bad events, and you will always be in a state of anxiety. But through repetition of this mental exercise, through repetition of this three-step meditation process, you will finally be able to keep your attention on the imaginal act that signifies that you're now truly healed. And when your attention is now focused on this imaginal act, you can derive feelings from it, and you can now change. But the thing is, you need to be able to keep your attention on this imaginal act to change, and that requires practice. That requires showing up daily and doing this three-step meditation process at least 2 times a day, or if you want significant improvement at a very short amount of time, 3 times a day. So do this and change your life. Do this and become free from panic attacks and anxiety. If you have someone in your life who is currently struggling with panic attacks and anxiety, send them this video and change their life. Now, I have made a ton of different videos on how to completely overcome panic attacks and anxiety. And if you want to experience one-to-one online coaching, message me on my Gmail or my WhatsApp, which are linked in the description box down below or pinned comment section down below. It's expensive, it's an expensive course, but I will make sure that you will never experience panic attacks ever again. All this anxiety and panic attacks will be a thing of your past. Remember, sky's the limit once you truly know how to become meditative. Imagine wonderful things and embrace the emotions of that imaginal act. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.